Greetings, Tube Dwellers. We're back for more books. We are in a stay of execution, technically the second mission. And this is near the door release, the cell release lever. Procedures following the escape of CORVO ATTANO, excerpt from a case study intended for prison wardens. Following the escape of CORVO ATTANO, the council appointed by the Lord Regent has decided it is of the utmost importance to increase security measures at Coldridge Prison. The recommendations made by this report include structural measures such as increasing the height of walls, sealing ventilation shafts, and ensuring sewer entrances are inaccessible. Additionally, staffing at the site must be increased to thoroughly cover all exits and maintain observation of all major corridors. Special addendum. In addition to the new measures outlined herein, the Council has consulted both the Abbey of the Everyman and Royal Physician Anton Sokolov, who is also head of the Academy of Natural Philosophy, asking for guidance and equipment in the handling of those cases which are more exotic in nature. While we have dismissed reports of the supernatural in the past as old wives' tales of lunatic heresy, recent months have convinced us that there are matters afoot that we do not fully understand. As such, prison executive personnel are encouraged to welcome the presence of both the overseers and anyone working under Sokolov's technical guidance. Interesting. That was a pretty short one, but there will be more to this video if there are more books I find along my journey, which I kind of expect. It turns out there are more books. Always, always more books in Dishonored. I suppose we can start here. I'm not sure any of these are pertinent to the storyline, but interesting, I'm sure. Prisons of the Isles. Excerpt from a report commissioned by the Royal Spy Master. The most striking characteristic one will notice when comparing incarceration facilities across the Isles is the outer walls themselves, or in some cases the lack thereof. A well-known and well-feared prison such as Coldridge, with its long history as the principal prison for the capital city of Dunwall, has a number of physical barriers to keep prisoners from escaping or even attempting escape. Coldridge is housed in a single formidable structure, many stories tall, with tightly guarded gates and tiny individual that keep the prisoners separate. That's is that right? That's not right. With tightly guarded gates and tiny individuals. There's a midget. There's a dwarf at the front gate, pushing people down whenever they try to, maybe tripping people whenever they try to escape, that keep the prisoners separate, minimizing collusion. Maybe individual wall or something, I don't know. I'm totally unsure what it's trying to tell me there. The prison is dominated by its high gray walls, and as of late, new technologies have been tested for deployment there, further adding to security. The height of modern incarceration. It's virtually unthinkable that one could escape from such a place. Contrast this with the prisons of Tivia, located in the tundra at the center of that nation's state. At some of the labor camps in Tivia, there are literally no walls. A prisoner exhausted from hard labor and without tools is unlikely to survive the harsh climate or the hungry packs of hounds that rove the frozen wastes. In fact, Tivia prison authorities make it known that any prisoner is free to leave at any time. In all of recorded history, no one has made the remote walk across the snow and ice to the nearest city. Interestingly, those who leave are not pursued. They are considered free people, having effectively served their sentences. Wow. Some of these other places it describes sound really interesting. Later installments in this series will cover the mines of Serkonos, where prisoners must work in order to survive, and the coastal island jails of Morley, surrounded by bitterly cold waters that are filled with ravenous hagfish. Interesting. These places that it describes just sound amazing. I really hope this series does continue. They're setting up the world beautifully. Modern incarceration technology. Oh, so is this a further read into the same? Excerpt from a presentation at the onset of the plague. Once again, I have been asked to solve the problems of the dismal past, and once again I have delivered the solutions required by our present situation. As with all my work, it is simply that a mind capable of understanding their potential is required. For the benefit of the Lord Regent and to the detriment of those incarcerated in Coldridge Prison with an aptitude for escape, I have recently adapted one of my inventions for deployment in that dank and depressing place. This must be from Anton Sokolov. The potential function of these devices at the prison should now be clear to all, following the latest round of testing. With the associated power complications resolved, I have therefore recommended a 2-stage implementation, starting at once. The first stage involves a recent device, simple to deploy, designed to stun the escaping prisoner. The second is a more powerful deterrent, the lethal and increasingly popular arc pylon. In combination, properly applied, these devices will make Cold Ridge Prison inescapable. I guess I am getting ready to prove you wrong, and I don't think there was a book over here. I've got a blueprint. There are a lot of books in this cell, though. Apparently no more books, at least for now. That may be it? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark?